Very good morning to one and all. In this lecture, I'm going to cover key areas in e-commerce based on the syllabus of University of Madras, and I'm going to give the introduction about e-commerce, types of e-commerce, benefits and limitations of e-commerce, electronic payment issues, m-commerce applications, emerging m-commerce technologies, e-business portals, human resource management, human resource information system, and career path in e-commerce. Let's start with the introduction. First, we should know what is e-commerce. E-commerce means using internet and web services for business transaction. Not only the business transaction means not only the amount dealing with a partner or a manufacturer. It also deals with the documents and product exchange and services all comes under e-commerce. Okay. Next up, we are going to see what is the types of e-commerce. We are having 5 types of e-commerce: business to business, business to consumer, consumer to business, consumer to consumer, and business to government. First, we are going to see what is business to business. Business to business refers to e-commerce activities between the business. That is, we are going to exchange the data between two business groups. For example, manufacturer and the wholesaler. Wholesaler going to get parts from the manufacturer and rearrange it, and he is a person. Wholesaler is a person who is going to sell their products in a wholesale manner. So this type of transactions, this type of business comes under B2B. Okay. Next is business to consumer. Business to consumer refers to that are focused on business, focused on customers rather than on business. So business to customer is mainly for we are going to attract the customers, and people mainly concentrate on the customer. Example, Amazon, Flipkart. Amazon, Flipkart and all intermediator between the manufacturer or wholesaler and the customer. So these type of transactions and all comes under business to consumer. Next, consumer to business. Even the customer itself sell their products, that comes under customer to business. Okay. Next, customer to customer. The customer to customer is auction style model in the sense, if I want that product, I will quote for something that another side, if they okay with that deal, they will send you communication and all. That comes under consumer to consumer. And last one is business to government. Business to government is a new trend in e-commerce. The government departments is directly reach the citizens by setting up their websites, and for example, the concept of smart city is also comes under business to government concept. Okay. And nowadays we are all applying, we are getting our income certificates, whatever we need immediately we are getting, right? So now during that pandemic, if we want pass, right, we are through the portal, we are requesting for pass, and we are getting that, right? So that's all comes under business to government. Okay. Now I'm going to tell you some examples of e-commerce which is not in the upcoming slides. I just tell you, just make a note on of it. Retail sales, wholesale, drop shipping, crowdfunding, subscription, physical products, digital products, services. These are all examples of e-commerce. everyone knows about what is retail. The people get the products from the wholesaler and sell it in the retail manner. That comes under retail. Wholesale in the sense, from the manufacturer I'm going to get a lump sum of particular product or different categories of products, and I'm going to sell it to the retailer. And drop shipping is nothing but through the intermediator, that is third party, we are going to sell the product which is manufactured and shipping to the customer. Example, Amazon, Flipkart and all. Crowdfunding is, in advance I'm going to get money from the customer. Whenever the product is available, I will deliver to the person. That comes under crowdfunding. And next one is subscription is nothing but if you are having a subscription, Hotstar, Netflix, so every month you are getting paying money for that, no, for the services, that comes under subscription. And physical products is any tangible products, inventory, and physically shipped to the customer, that comes under physical products. And digital products is nothing but whatever we are doing now. We are buying books, Kindle version, and documents, sharing a documents comes under digital products. Services in the sense, exchange of compensation, skills provided, and service provided at any cost, at any time, at any cost, right? That comes under services. And now we look into benefits of e-commerce. Benefits of e-commerce is everyone experienced during this pandemic period. 24/7 we can access, we can buy products, we can transfer amount to somebody, that and all possible. We experienced all those things, and because of this e-commerce concepts. And we have more options to buy a product. If we go for a shop, if it is exclusive for Samsung or Vivo, whatever it may be, but if we go for e-commerce, that is online purchasing, we will have more options, we will have more price options. So it provide lots of options for us. And virtual auctions is nothing but I can demand my amount to buy a product, so based on that they will give a product like that. If OLX, that online second hand sale products, no, so we can give you a quotation. If it is possible, they will sell the product, otherwise they just sell it to somebody else. Okay. And exchange of ideas and experiences. Once I buy the product, I can share my experiences based on the reviews. Sometimes based on the reviews we use to buy the product, right? Such cases are coming under this benefits. Okay. And facilities, competition. If during the Jio introduced some benefits, no, automatically Airtel forced to give some benefits to the customers. So likewise, e-commerce facilitates the competitions and substantial discounts, and we will at last we are the beneficiaries. Okay. Consumers. And technical limitations is, if I'm if I'm purchasing something, maybe that basic requirements for purchasing the things online or doing e-commerce, we need some hardware and software and network basic things, that are all the limitations. So we require that, then only we can proceed with the e-commerce we can enjoy the benefits of e-commerce. And non-technical limitations, if I don't know how to use e-commerce portals, and I'm not aware of that, we can't expect everyone can access the websites, everyone can go for e-commerce. That is not possible, right? That is the limitations of e-commerce. Next, electronic payment. Electronic payment is we have lots of electronic payment methods: credit card, debit card, smart card, e-wallet, net banking, mobile payment, Amazon, GPay, and GPay, wearables, QR codes, payment using AI, biometric payments, credit card. Everyone knows it, if we are having a credit card, we through that card we can purchase. They set a limit, up to that limit we can purchase. And debit card. So if you have balance in our debit card, you can use our debit card. And smart card is nothing but just in many countries they are using smart card, just having like just a name and smart card, no, that we can show it and automatically detect from our account. The amount will be detected from our account. And e-wallet is nothing but we should have some balance in our account, then only we can get it. Right. Next, on the net banking, everyone can use net bank. Those who are having net banking services can use this option. Mobile payment, again, if we are having a mobile services, transaction services, we use that instantly, we can use it. And GPay and Google Pay, this is an emerging trend today, and we have lots and lots of services based on the based like this. GPay, you just have some balance in the Amazon account, so then only you can buy. And GPay, it's Google Pay, that is linked to your bank account, so you can transfer the amount. Wearables in the sense watches, smart watches, smart gadgets, so through that you can pay, you can transact amount to the various accounts. And QR codes, everyone able to see whenever nowadays, if you after the pandemic, no, the QR code, it's everyone is using this QR code transaction. So once we read the QR code, it automatically detect the particular amount from the we have to enter the amount. Once we see that, automatically connected to the net banking, and we have to enter the amount, and we can send it. Instead of putting the card in the card machine, we are just reading the card details. Okay. Account details of the merchant. And paying using AI. Paying using AI is nothing but nowadays they are using artificial intelligence concept for paying such a things. Later I tell you about this. We will have a separate session for this, and we have lots of things to discuss. Okay. And biometric payments, once we entered in a thumb, palm, eye, using that we can use we can make payments. Next, we should know how the electronic payments works. Electronic payments works as SET is nothing but secure electronic transaction. Electronic transaction is SET. So what are all the things we are going to see how it works. Okay. Once the card holder or consumer choose their product, it just go to the merchant website, and they're watching, they used to see all those things, and choose some product, and he is planning to do the payment, and he's started to typing their card details. Once we entered, that comes into the certificate authority section. That certificate authority section checks all the all the details of the card, and go to the issuer will issue the nodule like this, and granted for the transaction, and then the transaction will be happen, and go to the certificate authority will send your details to the acquire is a bank of the merchant who is having all the details of the merchant accounts, and acquire will get the details, and the amount transferred, no, the details will send to the merchant through payment gateway. Once the merchant get the payment, automatically he releases and he proceed with the next step. These are all the steps once we enter your call details and go for purchase now, or okay, if you submit it now, then these are all the steps happening behind the screen. Okay, and just drop the link in the description box that will help you how the payment works. You can enjoy it watching this. Next, I'm going to tell common security issues in e-commerce. Common security issues: spoofing, and building illegitimate websites that appear to be published by established organization, unauthorized disclosure, hackers catches the valuable and sensitive information, unauthorized auction, and data alteration. There's some malfunctions to the information flowing, and waves dropping, and protected information can be diverted to some other route. These are all common security issues, and first I want to tell you that the protected information can be diverted once the hackers or intruders or extruders they purposely diverted the data. It won't reach the destination. Instead of that, it reaches their systems, and read all the informations and extract all the information, so what they want to know. And malfunctions, once we are sending the documents or whatever, we are sending any communication to other end, the malfunctions to the information flowing, so they may interrupt the information, they may alter the information, maybe they insert some new data to that the information. These and all commonly in e-commerce. Okay, these are all we used to see in network security. That's why I'm not getting into detail. And next, what we are going to see is specific e-commerce security issues. Specific e-commerce security issues is nowadays we are facing all those things. Web and mobile application vulnerabilities. So mobile web application vulnerabilities is that they use these applications for they're sending some unwanted advertisements, unwanted videos, and unwanted text, or this order comes, and once we go for that website, no, automatically displayed somewhere else. So this all comes under web mobile application vulnerabilities. And and the card skimming, just extract the details of personal information of your card. Once we use the card, no, we are simply save my card. It is what we thought is, next time we can directly just choose the card and make a payment, right? That is it's a very dangerous one. So whenever we have to pay, if we want to pay amount, we have every time we have to enter the card details. Because for our safety we should maintain such things. Okay, so if we store or if we extruders or keep on watching our account transactions and all, now once we get the details, automatically extract he extract the amount from our account. And point of sale attacks, in the point of sale attacks, in Facebook, in most of the time we shows a discount rate. We know that the product of the cost is high, but a discount rate, very minimal rate. It maybe for a product of the cost of the product is maybe 5,000. We know that the worth for it, the photo shows the worth of 5,000, but they simply told, I'll give you for 500, 499, 999. Likewise, we just attract our intention and make us to pay for that. They won't give any of the product, and simply they are collecting the amount. They do that things. So that concept will come under point of sale attacks. And during the sale also, they in extruders may do something and break the products delivered to the customers. It gives the bad expression of bad impression about the website and service provider. So next one is denial of services. Denial of services is nothing but the extruders watch all the transactions between the customers or between A and B, and also he sending some information that is purposely they want to break up the relationship between, likewise these are all the different categories of vulnerability, different categories of problems we are facing in e-commerce, and also in network security, data transferring, like that. So DOS is nothing but denial of service. Purposely they are cutting, they are diverting all the transactions from A to B. Instead, all the transaction, all the information directly they are diverted to their account and website and backend, like this. Okay, distributed DDoS is nothing but distributed denial of service. So distributed is denial of services. It not only to the one customer, whatever the transaction communication between A to B, A to C, A to D, like that, all the to all the people, they do the same and interrupt the services. That is denial of services, distributed denial of. Next one is bad bots. Bots in the sense, it's a software application which runs behind the applications. Whatever we are requesting for something, automatically do automation that will after the triggering point, like it's a we have two types of bad bots, bots. One is good bots and bad bots. The good bots is not harmless, and it provide a good services to the e-commerce. And bad bots is nothing but it a very harmful, and it creates a bad impression about the e-commerce provider or that particular manufacturer. Likewise, it gives a bad impression. It downs the ratings of the web services, likewise. Next, and requirements for safe e-commerce transactions. These terms we used, we already studied in computer networks. Confidentability, integrity, availability, authentication, not repudiation, encryption, auditability. Confidentiality, we should maintain the user's password, card details. So it should be very we should maintain in very carefully. Next, integrity. Once we made a transaction, that the changes has to be made at both ends. That should be important. And availability of services is more important. 24/7 we have to acknowledge it. And authentication, we have so many types of authentication, that way digital certificates, digital signatures, and one time password. Likewise, we are having so many types of authentication. And not reputation, if it is not if it is not a genuine move, we should stop that, and we should deny the services. That should happen. Encryption, once we pass on the information from A to B, that message should be encrypted, right? Audibility is nothing but we should be very strict, or the set of procedures we should follow. Next level of things for a secured e-commerce services. One is multi-layer security. What I spoke previous side, no, that thing cover in this multi-layer security. That is, once we entered into the before enter into the transaction, we should have multiple checking whether the correct person is entering into the conversation or data transfer, whatever it may be. And we should have that particular e-commerce website or a provider should have secure server layer certificates. Okay. And we should use that e-commerce website should use solid rock firewalls. We should not allow, if you want to restrict some websites, no, we should use solid firewalls to avoid such things. And anti-malware software, we should use once we should give confident to the client that they are in a very good and very secured environment. Anti-malware is, we have lots of problems, and the malware things, that is Trojan, ransom, worms, viruses. So once we entered into the website, I should give the confident that they are in a safer and secure environment. So we have to use such softwares. And we know what virus and worms and ransom and Trojan will impact our documents and impact our systems, right? Next, what we are going to say is just display the images of multi-layer security and secure layer SSL certificates. Okay. Next, m-commerce is nothing but here we are going to sell and buy products and everything as in e-commerce. The only difference is here we are going to use wireless handheld devices such as smartphones, tablets, like this. E-commerce we are used to do all the process using desktop and wired environment, that is wired networking services. Here we are going to use wireless services. And m-commerce, mobile commerce, is not telling about the phones and all. Mobility, they are talking about mobility. Anywhere, anytime you can use, you can have, if you have your gadgets, you can anytime you can do it. That is mobility. And examples, in-app purchasing, everyone having Amazon. So through Amazon app, we are purchasing products, right? Likewise, using app we are purchasing products. And mobile banking, easily we can transfer the data, because the particular bank providing mobile banking services. So install that, we should install that app, and we can enjoy the easy transaction from instant transactions and all. And virtual marketplace like Amazon mobile app, And digital wallet, as we said earlier, no, Apple Pay, Android Pay, and Samsung Pay, use that we can transfer the amount instead of even if we can in Amazon, no, everyone use this service, gift coupon. We can, instead of buying a gift, we can send a gift coupon. Automatically the amount will be in the Amazon account. Whenever we purchasing, we can use that amount. Okay, likewise digital wallet. And m-commerce applications, m-commerce application is we have experiencing all those things nowadays. Travel and ticketing, when so once we unplanned travel, we need to say no, instantly we are having so many applications. Using that application, we can book tickets, we can book train tickets, flight tickets, from without having any problem. We can book all those things. Commerce in the sense, amount transaction, buying and selling goods, and education. So this is also one of the benefits, online classes. If you want to download your ebook, you can download and read and go for it. And enterprise resource planning is most important in e-commerce or any business. Okay. And entertainment, you're downloading movie, or you're subscribing Netflix, Hotstar, Sun Next, like this. So this comes under mobile commerce. And healthcare, nowadays we can't go to clinic, and online we are consulting doctors, and through the app we are ordering the medicines and all. So that's and all comes under healthcare. And inventory tracking and dispatching, once we ordered a product in Amazon or Flipkart, or etc., we can easily track when it comes, and where it is. So we can easily track, no, that's and all comes under mobile commerce. And traffic, if we go for Google Maps, no, it shows the route, and also it shows the where how many hours, how many minutes, where we are having heavy traffic, less traffic, alternative routes. So these are all the applications of m-commerce. And the technologies for using this wireless communication is, nowadays we are using 4G. I'm just displaying the differences of what are all the services provided by the cellular network from first generation to fourth generation. And I want to nowadays we are upgrading ourselves to fifth generation, that is 5G. And the one of the difference in 5G is speed, because nowadays we are all move or we are all move our database to the cloud, no. So if you want to access data in efficient manner, and transferring data, nowadays we are going to big data concepts, deep learning, and AI concepts, no. In AI concepts, we are going to have lots and lots of informations to extract exact what we need, no. We should have lots and lots of backup for that. Then only we can search it, and we can identify a particular product. For that we need space. And in nowadays everyone is working from home, no. All their office databases and providers, whatever maybe, everything they are moved to cloud. So if all the things move to cloud, everyone is accessing the databases automatically. Speed and services will be disturbed, no. So that's why we are going for 5G. It helps us to improve our transaction. Is a small example. I'm going to tell you that if you are if you are sending a request to a server, a request will give the response in 15 to 60 seconds in 4G. when compared to 4G, 5G responses time is 1 millisecond. There in 4G 15 to 60 milliseconds. In 5G the same request been sent to the cloud, no, the response time is 1 millisecond. That is the difference. That's why nowadays we are going for 5G concept. And emerging e-commerce technologies is first one is MIR, personalized push notification, and augmented reality apps, near field communication, and last one is analytics and predictive technologies. Mobile image recognition technology is nothing but it brings the information from the outside in, and it virtual words to equivalent to window shopping in real world. Then so each and everything we can at our fingertip, that is mobile image recognition, and displaying one touch we can make all the transactions, right? That comes under mobile image recognition. And personalized push notification is nothing but once we search for a product, it keep on service keep on looking for what are all the things we are looking for past 6 months, for past 1 year, what are all the things we put it in the willing list, and likewise it's keep on monitoring, and it gives the notification whenever the price drop, whenever they are having discounts, whenever they are having new products related to our search. Likewise notifications sent to us, no, that and all personalized push notifications. And near field communication technology, it's a communication protocol. NFC is a protocol that enables two electronic services, which usually such as smartphones, and establish a communication, and we can transfer amount, we can transfer information, using simply NFC chip against a NFC terminal. Next, augmented reality is a very interesting concept in m-commerce industry. The online shopper can if we are purchasing a product through online means we can't wear it and check whether it fit to us or not, right? In using this augmented reality, we can check it's fit to us, it looks good for us. Likewise we can do it once we captured our image, no, or once we have a photo of our image, no, we can say if we go for specs, if you want to wear whether the specs suits you or not. So if you go for this concept, you can choose and wear your specs, and we can view yourself in different views whether it looks to you good or not. So this type of environment is provided by augmented reality apps. And next we are going to see e-business portals. E-business portals is nothing but what are all the things we spoke to now is that things are available in e-business portals, which help us to buy the products and also consumers to get the products. And these are all these services, these are all the back works behind these are all the works behind the e-portals, or the pricing, catalog personalization, corporate account management, facilitated ordering process, payment facility, mobile experience, analytics. These are all the operations or services provided by the e-commerce portals. We are going to see human resource management is responsible for recruiting and performance analysis, giving training to the employees, and research to be performed by them for improvement of the organization, and also improve the employability skills of the employees, and extract the potential from the employees, and they should have a good leadership quality. Next, we are going to see HRIS. HRIS is also called as Human Resource Management System, or a Human Resource Information System. It's a basically intersection of human resources and information technology through HR software, and it allows HR activities and process to occur electronically. And the benefits of HRIS is improved ability to reach large candidate pools, ability to quickly apply higher selection standards, reduction of paper and related material storage, ease in distributing up-to-date materials concerning company policies, procedures, potential for greater employee engagement through self-service options, streamlining of open enrollment for benefits. Likewise, we have lots and lots of benefits while using this HRIS. Many companies have their own HRIS, and I listed some of the HRIS softwares, that is automated data processing, then SAP, AG, and People, Oracle, PeopleSoft. Likewise, we are having more than 25 HRIS softwares, and as I said earlier, most of the companies have their own HRIS. And next, we are going to see e-commerce career path. If you really want to get into the e-commerce field, you need some skills, artistic skills, management skills, financial skills, and technical skills. You need to have all those things at entry level. At least you should have any one of these skills, then only you can easily get into this. And this chart will show you the demand of roles in e-commerce. Just go through it and keep on looking for supply chain management, logistics areas. So you have lots of scope in these areas. And thank you so much for watching this video, and all the very best for your best future.